Hi, I hope everyone's doing well. We're going to be talking about lesson 21 tonight, and just hope you guys are maintaining your sanity during these crazy times. And Nikki and I certainly do miss seeing you guys face to face each week and just being able to interact with you guys. But at least we have the power of technology to be able to do stuff like this. I was just telling Nikki this week, imagine this happened in the early 90s or earlier, before live streaming and internet and all that stuff. Man, things would have been a lot more difficult, I think. And so at least we were able to do some virtual stuff and stay connected with each other. So let's jump into our lesson tonight. Lesson 21 is called Relapse. And it goes off of Principle 7, which says, reserve a daily time with God for self-examination, Bible reading, and prayer in order to know God and His will for my life and to gain the power to follow His will. And then it also deals with step 11, which says, we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and power to carry that out. And it talks about Colossians 3:16, let the message of Christ dwell among you richly. So, lesson 21, Relapse, is a timely lesson because of the times we're in. Just being in a slower period in life, the stay-home order, I know that's the time when things can be a lot more of a struggle, when temptations can be a little more persistent, anxieties can be heightened, depression can increase, and all the voices and all the things that are coming at us can be a little more difficult as we're slowing down and not staying as active and as busy physically. And I know that can be a challenge as far as temptations go. And so this is a very timely lesson. And we're going to talk about how we can prevent relapse. In other words, how we can prevent falling back into some of the patterns and traps that maybe we've been working ourselves out of. Because it's a very real thing and a very real possibility in our lives. And so it's never too early to talk about this. And so we're going to be dealing with the acrostic relapse tonight in your notes. And so the acrostic stands for R, reserve a daily quiet time. E, evaluate. L, listen to Jesus. A, alone and quiet time. P, plug into God's power through prayer. S, slow down. And E, enjoy your growth. And so for the first letter of the acrostic, stands for Principle 7 itself, which is reserve a daily quiet time with God for self-examination. This is very important. We talked a lot about this last week and the week before, just the need for reflecting and spending time with God, and we're going to look at that in the first two letters. But we need to make sure that we're spending time with God each day, that we're reserving time for Him through Bible reading, through prayer, even through listening to sermons and worship songs, but really making sure that we're spending time with God in prayer. I know one of the temptations when we go through something like this, and in life in general, is to resort to easy, shallow things, to just keep ourselves busy, things like Netflix binging, or to just playing games and doing yard work or chores around the house. And none of that stuff is bad, but if that consumes all of our time and we're not giving time to God, then that is not a good thing. Anything done in excess is not healthy. Paul in one of his epistles says that anything in excess can be essentially can be a sin. I know from my own personal life, in my own testimony, as I shared before, I got in high school was one of my periods where I fell away from God, and that was because of sports. I just got so involved in so many sports that I didn't have any time for God. One season I was playing volleyball and football in the exact same season. So after school, I would go to volleyball practice till about 5:30. Then after 5:30, I go to football practice till about 7:30. Then I'd get home, eat dinner, and do some homework, and that was about it. And it really eliminated a lot of my time with God. And so just be careful in this time to not overindulge in things to where you're not giving time to God. So we need to reserve a daily time with Him. And especially during these times, man, it's easy to slip back into old hurts, habits, and hang-ups, for the alcoholic to go back to drinking, for the overeater to go back to gaining weight, the gambler to losing wages.